Hey, what's up, y'all? Preston from Fight Media 360 here. So this is a quick preview and prediction for Jermall Charlo versus Juan Montiel. So this fight takes place on Saturday, June 19th, and is showing on Showtime and is at the Toyota Center in Texas. So now we got that out the way. So let's talk about their stats and then the odds. Jermall Charlo comes into the fight with the record of 31 wins, no losses, 0 draws, with 22 KOs. He stands at a height of 6 foot tall with a 74.5-inch reach. And coming off a big win against Sergey Derevyanchenko. Alright, so now we got that out the way. Let's talk about Juan Matillo. Juan Matillo comes into the fight with the record of 22 wins, 4 losses, 2 draws with 22 KOs. He stands at a height of 6'1" with a 74-inch reach. And he is coming off a big win against James Kirkland. Jermall Charlo is listed as a 91-8 favorite over Juan Matillo. So he's a very, very, very big favorite over him. So first, before I talk about the fight, don't you guys think that Juan Matillo's record is a bit odd? How he has 22 wins with 4 losses, but then he also had 22 knockouts. So every time whenever he went the distance, it either was a draw or a loss. I feel like Montiel's record is a bit odd to me. And second of all, I'm not very happy about this fight. I think Charlo should have picked a better fight than Montiel. You know, Montiel is definitely not ready for Charlo, but whatever. So now let's break down. So now we're going to talk about what they need to do to win. So now we're going to start with the very, very big favorite, Jermall Charlo. Jermall Charlo, what he needs to do is box. Not kind of box like how he did against Sergey Derevyanchenko, because Sergey was like 5 inches shorter than he was. So but then he's fighting a guy like Montiel who's 6'1" and so he is a taller fighter, and I'm guessing he's probably like the bigger fighter too. So he needs to fight very smart and just box and move out the way and not get very involved in the inside against Montiel. Because even though Montiel is nowhere near the skill level of Jermall Charlo, you still don't want to risk getting caught by Montiel, because on the other hand, Montiel does have 22 wins with 22 knockouts, so that is something. So Jermall Charlo needs to be more cautious when he fights, because Montiel is the taller and bigger fighter this time than Charlo. So he needs to fight very, very, very smart and not get caught, because even though James Kirkland is nowhere near the skill level, or nowhere near even was ever near the skill level of Charlo, or has the chin of Charlo, you still don't he still knocked out a lot of people. So, and he still knocked out James Kirkland. So he does have experience, beating people it's not high fighters, but you know what I'm talking about. He did come off a big win against James Kirkland, and he does carry some power. I'm not very high on Montiel, but I'm just saying Charlo shouldn't be involved in the inside at all, even though he's rarely ever involved in the inside a lot. He was getting even though he beat Sergey Derevyanchenko, and we all know he did beat him pretty convincingly. He was still getting hit quite a bit by him, so he needs to be more aware of not getting hit by Montiel, because Montiel does carry power, and not very much of an aggressive fighter, but he's like a fighter that just connects a lot of power shots, but he's not a fighter that throws a lot of punches, though. That's the thing. And Montiel's footwork is quite slow, so Charlo does need to use, like, he always does use his footwork, but it also, the main key is his footwork against Montiel, because Montiel, like, again, just does, like, he has very slow feet, has very slow footwork, so he can easily just outwork and tire the hell out of Montiel by using his footwork and and just like making him chase you, and that would really tire Montiel out, because every time whenever Montiel went the distance, he either lost or had a draw. So don't be scared. He's not gonna be scared, but I'm just saying, don't have that 22 knockouts phase you, because every time whenever you went the distance, he mainly lost. So use that advantage and try to outbox and outwork Montiel, but just don't stay in the inside, and don't don't brawl with Montiel, because Montiel is very dangerous with his hands. So yeah, so that's what Jermall Charlo needs to do. What Juan Matillo needs to do is to be aggressive, because even though he has 22 knockouts, people think that, oh, this guy's just a big aggressor and just comes forward. He's not really. He's actually kind of like he's kind of like Mauricio Lara, like just not as wild with his punches like Mauricio Lara. Mauricio Lara, he's very he's an aggressive puncher, but he just has the stance like Mauricio Lara. So, but I would like to see him kind of catch Charlo slipping, and also kind of bull rush Charlo and be a pressure fighter against Charlo, because even though he beat Sergey Derevyanchenko, he still got hit by him. So take that as something, and drive Charlo into the deep waters, and try to beat him up as much as you can when he's trying to move back, and then try to make a smart move by going body to head, or when he's moving, when he's moving, go body to head, and then maybe catch him with what Mauricio Lara did against Josh Warrington, where he went to the body and then he went to the head, and then that would definitely surprise Charlo, probably drop Charlo, because Charlo can get dropped. He does got a very good chin, but Montiel, I think he need to use that advantage, his power advantage, and really make Charlo uncomfortable, because he does have the power to make Charlo uncomfortable. As we all know, because he knocks out everybody that he's been facing, but never fought nowhere near the competition like Jermall Charlo. So yeah, so that's what Montiel needs to do, is pretty much just be the aggressor, be very, be more active with his hands, and just make Charlo very, very uncomfortable. So yeah, my final prediction for this fight, it's pretty obvious, of who's gonna win. I got Jermall Charlo by a extremely wide unanimous decision or a stoppage in the later rounds. I just think that Montiel just doesn't have the skill, doesn't have the footwork. He do got power, but that's about it. Like he doesn't really got anything else except for maybe he got chin. I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with him, but you know, I've watched some highlights. You know, he's okay. You know, he definitely do carry a lot of power. He could use that, but I just think that his cardio wouldn't last against Jermall Charlo. And I think that Jermall Charlo would take a big advantage over that and outbox him and probably stop him. Because if I would pick between a decision or stoppage, it would be hard. But I want to say a stoppage because again, Montiel, every time whenever you went the distance, he lost or had a draw. So I'm guessing that his cardio is not going to be good at all. So, like, I think Charlo is going to put a very, very big beating on Montiel and outbox the crap out of him. So yeah, so that's my final prediction. I got Jermall Charlo by a very wide unanimous decision or a stoppage in a later round. So make sure you guys like and subscribe. I'm Fight Media 360 and thank y'all for watching this video.